A terrible teacher who A, doesn't know anything about the subject he's teaching, and B, doesn't care, no helpful feedback on your IA or EE, you're extremely behind syllabus, you feel that students doing the program in other IB schools are probably the luckiest kids on earth considering how bad your school is, and you feel that you have the worst IB school possible. If these statements describe your situation, you're most likely in a bad IB school. Now, what do I mean by bad? What do I mean by a bad, terrible IB school? A school that isn't going to help you do well, a school that barely knows anything about the IB, and a school that honestly is setting you up for failure. Now, I know how most of you feel. When I did the IB in my school, the timing was honestly horrible. My school wasn't terrible in itself, but the 2 years that I did the IB, a bunch of experienced teachers left, leaving me with a bunch of new hires. Because of this, and I want you to pay attention to my situation, just see how messed up it was. Over the 2 years, I had 3 different TOK teachers, 3 different business HL teachers, 2 different math teachers, 2 different language B teachers, started nearly all of my HL portions of my HL subjects in the second term of my second year, missed my HL, Econ, and Bio classes because I was stupid, so I had to self-study everything in a span of 2.5 months. And I could keep talking, but I don't want to depress you guys more. The worst part of it is that I actually had a good IB school with a really good history of scores. It's just that year, a bunch of experienced teachers left, and all of this happened. So the year before us had amazing teachers and an amazing IB program, and the year after us had all these problems fixed, and they had a good program as well. So essentially, it was just us, this messed up bunch of students that had all this crap piled on them. Somehow, and I really stress that, somehow, I still managed to get a 40. Now, I had friends who went to really good IB schools, and when I mean really good, I mean really good IB schools. One of them had an entire building, not like just a general area or a few classrooms, but a 2-story building devoted purely to IB students. So you can imagine little old me in the corner of my IB school, hating myself because I was in such a terrible situation, while my friends had these amazing schools. And when pressure builds up near exam time and the time to submit all your coursework, those are the times you truly hate your school, and jealousy overrides you. So many of you probably feel the same way I did, feeling as if the cards are stacked against you. You feel, university prospects slipping away from your fingers. You feel like you're in a bad place. And it's very easy in a way to just mentally give up and just accept the situation, not expecting much of yourself. And honestly, if that happens, and hopefully it doesn't, but if it happens, you lose that drive that you had. You lose motivation to study, and you honestly feel that all your efforts are going to go to waste because of how bad your school is. And there are all these pressures working against you that any effort you put is just, it's irrelevant. And I don't blame you, because I felt those same things. Here's why I don't believe that anymore. There are some things I realized after I did the program that I wish I told my younger self when I did the program, and I would have probably worked harder and had a better score overall. And that is this. You can do this yourself. It may seem that the IB is this crazy, insanely hard program that requires the most experienced teachers specialized in the program for the last 15 years. And you feel that without a good support system, it's impossible to do well. Now, I felt that too, but there's a universal truth that applies very relevantly in the IB, and that is smart work trumps everything. No matter how bad your school is, if you know how to work smart and put in a ton of effort, you can still get the results you want. There's a lot of extra work that teachers make you do but have no relevance in the final exam. And when you take matters into your own hands and self-study a lot of your subjects, you can skip all this extra irrelevant material and just focus on what's necessary. And that's really powerful. Really, the effort you're willing to put and how effective your efforts are gonna make much more of a difference than the school you attend. You don't have to attend a good school to get high marks. And the reason I know this is because a lot of people in those good schools got terrible marks in the end. Not my friends, they did pretty well, But they would tell me of people who'd get 31, 28, and some would even fail. Now, obviously, the reality is in all school, there is a wide spectrum of people who do really good on one end and people who do really bad in the other. And there are all these people in between. And I'm sure, even in your school, no matter how bad you claim it is, there must have been at least one student who got really high marks. Yeah, Cole, but that person was a genius. Come on. Even if that person was smart, he probably still had to work his ass off to get those marks, especially in your school. It's all about that effective work you put in. Now, I'm not saying that your school doesn't make a difference. It does, big time. Just look at the IB results of Sevenoaks School in the UK or ACS in Singapore. Those schools have an insane IB track record. A good IB school can easily boost your marks by a lot. And I'm not debating that. What I am debating is that you can use the excuse that a terrible IB school caused or will cause your bad grades. A terrible school means that you just need to put in double the effort to get the same results. Is that fair? No. And honestly, because it wasn't fair, I thought the system was rigged against me, and because of that, I didn't work very hard for a long time. Thankfully, though, I woke up and realized that my IB score is going to be attached to my name in my university applications. And if my score is low, I can't write my personal statement, well, I got low because I had a bad school. That's not how it works. So I realized that I really needed to work hard. And because I was inherently lazy, I forced myself to work smarter than harder. So it didn't take as much effort as I thought. Now, I remember I was having a conversation with my friends, and they always went for lessons with this tutor. And this one tutor told her students that the reason her child got bad marks in the IB program is because she was in our school. And when I heard that, I lost all respect for that tutor because she was essentially telling her students that they're all going to get bad marks because of their school, which is honestly out of their control 3 months before the exam. And even if they did get bad marks, they could blame their school for it. And honestly, you can't blame your bad marks on your school to your university, even if it is true. You need to work smarter than the rest, and you need to work harder. At the end, when you have your glorious marks after all this, this crap ton of effort that you put in, even this extra amount of effort that you need to put, you'll be so happy that you didn't lose motivation halfway. And don't think that this doesn't apply to you because, oh, I took math HL, I took physics HL. No, Cole, you don't get it. My school's not only bad, it's really, really bad. Or it's the first year that my school's offering the IB, nobody knows anything. Or it's too late, what you're saying, it's too close to exams. Look, you can do good in the IB by taking matters into your own hands. I've been making a small video series of how to self-study certain IB subjects yourself without a teacher. And I've already done it for bio and econ, and it covers everything: IA, textbooks, revision material. It's very thorough. So check those out if you need to. So, I'll be honest with you. I'm not that smart. And if I could do this and in my school and I described to you my situation and I could still get a 40, trust me, you can do it better than me. If you had to take away anything from this video at all, it'd be this. You can get great marks in the IB program without a great school. No matter how bad your situation is, you need to get through this because your IB points are going to be associated with your name on your application. Experienced teachers, IB workshops, IB focused schools, they're nice to have, but they're not necessary. Remember, smart work trumps everything. Okay, send any questions you have to me. Hopefully that helped. See you soon.